Hi, Erik, Linask coming to you from Comptel Spring 2011 here in Las Vegas. I'm talking now with the co-founder of a company called Cyan, Erik Clelland. Erik, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me, Erik.
So as I mentioned, you're co-founder of Cyan, which you started about 5 years ago. Tell me about why.
Yeah, thank you, Erik. We started Cyan 5 years ago to help carriers accommodate the exponential growth in traffic and its changing nature. 5 years ago, the bandwidth requirements were quite different than they are today, and we expect them to be even more different, or much different, in 5 more years. So there'll be much more streaming as there is now, but in larger scale. There'll be bandwidth that we can't even think of right now. I think today's bandwidth will be about 5 to 10% of what we should see 5 years from now.
Wow. Right, today's bandwidth needs differentiate the requirements from 5 years ago, and like you said, we'll do the same in 5 years. Yeah. What differentiates Cyan in the market?
Yeah, first and foremost is the purpose-built hardware with respect to packet opticals. Being able to have multi-layered architecture that is truly 100 gig ready per slot. And then most importantly is the software tools that accommodate the hardware. So as the bandwidth, nature of the bandwidth changes, the scaling and the ability to provide planning and management and verification of the services that you're selling are going to be more critical. They are now, and they're going to become more and more critical as we'll see.
Good. What are some of the latest trends that you're seeing in the market?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the criticality of the software is the ability to provide the end user, the customers, service level awareness. So one of the trends we're driving and we're displaying here is the ability to actually provide the SLAs, the agreements that you have with your customers, to them in ways of a portal. And it's not only for the customers, I should also mention it's also for internal departments. So we work with a lot of private networks who the departments want to know they're getting the service that they're paying for from the actual network provider.
You mentioned 100 gig. What are we seeing right now in the 100 gig market in terms of actual deployment?
Yeah, I mean, it's nascent right now. I mean, what we see is the long haul networks are deploying 100 gig. We are a regional and metro network, and we're following the trends of the components industries in that sense. So clearly it's on its way. The platforms themselves need to be agnostic, which ours are, and having the ability to scale. So I think you'll see clearly on the switch router side where you're trying to get an efficiency on the ports, which not necessarily require the networks to upgrade in the metro network per se. So we're following it very closely. It's something we're committed to, and clearly see this exponential growth being a part of it.
Excellent. Tell me a little bit about who is using Cyan.
Absolutely. So Cyan is deployed by a number of carriers worldwide. We're in three continents. Primarily, we're working with carriers who are in the area of backhaul, and there's different kinds of backhaul. Wireless backhaul, there's business Ethernet, and we're starting to see a much bigger trend in the data center, both from a data center perspective where people run it and have managed services, but also in private networks, financial institutions, things of this nature. All of them are very much sensitive to latency and the ability to provide service level awareness.
So absolutely a great time to be in the backhaul business, certainly the wireless backhaul business. Yeah. Anything else that we can look forward to from Cyan in the coming months?
Clearly, we've had a lot of success in the broadband stimulus middle mile, and we're starting to see the blurring of lines where the access meets transport, as well as transport meets core. So an end-to-end network backbone vis-a-vis through multi-layered technology is something that will be becoming more obvious real soon.
Excellent. I've been talking here at Comptel in Las Vegas with Erik Clelland, co-founder of Cyan. Erik, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Erik.